So I had a story that was shared with me yesterday and it brought back a lot of memories. So I wanted to share this with you and just remind you how impactful your words can be. So there was a high school girl who tried to commit suicide. She had taken a bunch of pills just trying to kill herself. She was told the week prior by a couple other students in the school that she was worthless and she should try to kill herself. I don't know what spurred all this on, but the fact that two kids would tell someone else those thoughts that they should kill themselves, and then she took action. Fortunately, her parents found her, got her to the hospital, think she's going to be okay other than the mental side of it. And the reason I wanted to share this with you is because in my past, I also struggled with suicidal thoughts. I had things said to me that weren't very nice, and they stick with you. I can still remember exactly who said it, where I was, the whole situation, where we were, what everything looked like. Those thoughts, as much as I try to put them out of my head, as far as what other people had told me, they always creep back in. Even working on the personal development and everything, you still remember those things. As much as you want to push them out of your mind, they still manage to creep their way back in. So I just encourage you, before you say something, really think about it. Think about it from the other person's perspective. If you were in their shoes, how would you perceive that? How would you receive that they tell you? And because a lot of times people seem to just fly off the handle and they say whatever without even thinking about it. And that's one of the things that, we've really tried to work on here, not being a parent, but having little ones in the house, is just really watch what we say. So even things like stupid, we don't, not even talking about anyone, but, the stupid internet's not working or something like that. We changed it. We now say the silly. We try to catch ourselves and say things in a more positive, not even just tone, but just more positive language, so that, obviously kids aren't always going to be in the house. They're going to be in other places. They're going to be surrounded by other kids who are using other words and things like that. But the more positive that you can be and share the positive language and the positive, just the whole positivity with them, is going to help teach them the right way, so that when things are said to them, they can more or less just brush them off. Obviously I mentioned some things were said to me, and a lot of the things that were said to me are things that dig down into my confidence, and those have been a lot of the things that I've struggled with, was because of things that people said that related to that then I still struggle with. Again, like one of the things, and I'll just share this with you, I was teased about my butt. And I know it sounds silly, but it's just one thing that I've always been self-conscious about ever since then. And, as much as I work out, yeah, I do lots of squats, I do lunges, and you know what? It's not going to get any smaller, and I just have to realize that that's part of who I am, and but the fact that people tease you about something that you cannot change, and it just blows my mind, because there's so many other things that people can be spending their time on instead of criticizing other people. And one of the things, I mentioned the silly. That's what we use around my nephew. We say, oh, that's so silly, and just things like that. But there's so much negativity in the world, and why don't you choose to be that shining bright light instead of casting other negative thoughts and other negativity on people? Just be that shining bright light that stands out and that can bring that. And otherwise, if somebody's having a bad day, help them turn it around into a positive day, and help them see that, life isn't really that bad, and that they can, they can do it, they can get through this, and that someone believes in them, and that those things that other people are out there saying and that negativity, it's not all about that, and not everybody is that way. So I just encourage you, the next time you start to say something to someone, stop and think about it. Before you do, imagine yourself in their shoes and how you would respond to that if someone said that to you. And I am not perfect. I have done this numerous times in my life, and it's something that now I just make an effort to make sure that I'm really thinking about things before I just say it to others, because I know how much words can hurt. And just that story that was shared with me yesterday is a perfect example of something that didn't need to be said, and had it not been said, things could have been totally different for that little girl. And just hoping and praying that everything goes okay for her and she's able to pull through and turn things around, because I know from a mental side too, just going through that and trying to overcome those thoughts and making herself feel that she is worthy is going to be a big challenge for her. So just continue to keep her in your thoughts and pray for her that she can pull through this. So, and again, the old saying, if you can't say anything nice, then don't say anything at all. So just go back to that. And if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't talk. Don't say anything. So, again, I know this is a little personal, and thank you for tuning in, because it was something that was weighing heavily on my mind after hearing that story yesterday. So, appreciate you guys.